Hi everybody, so welcome to our very first episode of In the Beginning vlog. If you have been listening, I actually do have an In the Beginning podcast that I had started in the beginning of this year of 2023. But it was definitely brought into my heart to also kind of incorporate video blogging and kind of do a video diary for you guys so you guys could get the gist of when I go to the doctor's appointments and like back to backs and like back behind the scenes, not back to back, behind the scenes things that are going to be going along with this next steps of our journey. So today's episode is just me introducing myself, all of those things, and what led us to this point and to these moments. So I'm Ashley. I am 38. I am married. I'll be married almost 2 years with my husband. I have 2 kids previously from my first marriage. They are 14 and almost 16 years old. And I started my conceiving journey about a little over a year. We really started in 2022, beginning of 2022. And we're at this point. Now, I know for some, it might seem weird, like, okay, so you're having fertility issues. Like, what does this mean? Like, you have kids. It is very common that some people can experience secondary infertility. And that's what I had. That's what I have. I like to say had because I try very much to not always identify the diagnosis. But so if I say had, I have it. I'm trying to get my mindset in a different place. But it is something that I was diagnosed with. And like I said, it's very common. And then on top of that, I was 22, 24 when I had my first children, when I had my kids, you know, the first two go rounds. And then we had got diagnosed with undiagnosed infertility, meaning all of our test results came back normal, all of the things. So originally last year, we really were, even before me and my husband started dating and got really serious about getting married, we talked about children and that was something we both wanted. My husband doesn't have kids of his own. So it was very important to me and important to him, but it was very important to me to be able to have him experience the process and that journey that is pregnancy, giving birth, all of the things. He's a wonderful bonus dad. He's a wonderful stepdad to my kids, you know, but there's something different about when it's your child and it's carrying on, you know, the name, whether it's a boy or a girl, they're still carrying the name and just the importance of, you know, that's a part of him. So that was something that we had always talked about. And even my kids have talked about it because they themselves are like, you know, we want a sibling, we want that, you know. So I felt like it was so good that everyone was on the same page. Everybody was completely understanding of this next step. So it made it easy to kind of put it all together. So we really started kind of, you know, trying little by little, you know, doing what we needed to do. And so I initially had gotten pregnant over a year ago. And I was very excited, you know, some people knew about it. I was so excited and so amped up. And like I had originally told my husband at first, I was really excited about it. But then unfortunately, it ended in miscarriage. There's a lot of factors that took place because of that, but that's what took place, unfortunately. And that in itself is a journey, just trying to heal yourself from that. Like, okay, is there a light at the end of the tunnel and what's going to happen? And, you know, all those things that fall into place. So, you know, after all that happened, we switched doctors. I was originally going to one gynecologist. And so I made the decision to switch offices to a different place. And, you know, I heard great reviews. I heard great, you know, word of mouth. I had a lot of girlfriends that were going to where I started going. So I went to them. And so You know, I did a couple of things that I needed to do, and they still weren't really finding anything there. So then that's when they referred me. So by this point, this was like September, October-ish at that point, that's when they referred me to a fertility doctor. So I made an appointment. By December, I met up with the doctor. You know, she had the consultation with me. We went through kind of the steps of what everything was going to look like. So January was the month of me doing all of these tests, just to see everything, test me, test my husband and everything. And so that's also how we were able to find out the diagnosis, because we did all the things that you're supposed to do before they can give you, okay, like, here's what we're going to try first before we do this. So when they came up with, you know, there was really nothing that they noticed, my fertility doctor said, well, let's try medicated treatments, meaning, you know, trying to conceive naturally, but adding a little bit of extra medicine to kind of like help with the ovulation process. And so that was our next steps. So we did that. We did 3 rounds of that. The first round, we did it with Clomid, and it didn't really work like they would have hoped. So the last 2 cycles, we did letrozole, and they worked out really great. They really upped my my levels and my uterine lining, all of the things that needed to kind of happen, but unfortunately, it just wasn't sticking. And so we had 3 failed medicated treatments. So this was the end of April. So by end of April, beginning of May, I made the decision, because she had said, let's try it. If not, then maybe IVF is our next step. So I made the decision to have the consultation with our doctor again and talk about the steps for IVF. Because for me, at that point, doing the medicated treatments, doing all the blood work, going through all the ultrasounds, the checking and all of that, it was having a toll on me. It was really weighing heavy on me, and I was kind of getting to this point of, I was tired of getting hopeful and getting excited, thinking, well, this could be it, when they were telling me, oh, your levels are great, everything looks great, da 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 da, and negative test, negative blood work, negative pregnancy test. It was kind of taking over me. So I had the conversation about IVF and that next step. So we had the consultation with her. We discussed it. We kind of went through the whole spiel of it all. And so that's where we are. So within the next month or 2, that is where our next steps are. Now, we're still trying, you know, naturally. And, you know, who's to say what can happen? We don't know. But either way, I have the peace of mind knowing that we have IVF as our next choice. Mainly the reason we haven't started IVF right away is because it costs money. And it does, it's a pretty penny. And, you know, I want to make sure that we're not completely banking ourselves like in financial debt doing this. Not saying we would, because, you know, we are saving, we are doing all the necessary things that we need to. But I want to just make sure that we're A-okay. And we will be. So, you know, I actually recently just emailed the office and the nurse that takes care of IVF and said, okay, we are getting ready for that next step. Tell us what we got to do, all of the things. So that is where we are now. So I kind of want to leave with this word of encouragement, especially if there's anyone here that may be struggling, that may be going through their own journey, whatever the case may be. Don't give up. Don't quit. Yes, it can be a lot, but it's going to be so worth it at the end of the day. And when you receive those 2 lines or that big fat positive on the digital, that positive blood work, all of that, once you receive that, it's gonna be so worth it. And one of the best things that I could take from this whole experience is having such a great support system, having such a good group of people to kind of be there for you and, you know, and like pray for you and help you along the way. And that is really what has helped me in this journey. You know, I've always been so used to kind of like being silent in my struggles or silent in my battles. And I had to remind myself that, you know, there's a village of people that genuinely want to see the best for you. So why keep it to yourself? And so it really made me intentional with not being afraid to speak up, not being afraid to share my story. And that was one of the reasons what made me want to do this video diary, this vlog, was because I wanted you to see, because everyone, if you've been listened to my podcast, you just hear my voice, but it's another thing to see my face and to see what I'm going through. And so I want to be able to take you guys on the journey. So when we do start IVF and we do start the medications, I want you to be able to kind of go on this ride with me. There's so many people that have been following this journey with me that have been watching, and I want to be able to take you all along for the ride. And a couple of things that I've done to kind of help me now, I guess, with my mindset, because I know one of the biggest things that I struggled with was that I got so consumed and so stressed out that it made even the medicated treatments not exciting. And I feel like that also played a huge role as to why it didn't work, because I overly stressed myself. So one of the things I started getting back to doing, journaling, started writing my affirmations again, really diving deep into my daily devotionals, because those things, once I do it first thing in the morning, they set me up for success. They set me up in the right direction, and they honestly, it's such a mood boost, and it gives me such a different glow, because I'm like, you know what? God's with me in this journey, and his timing is perfect. So I know my rainbow is coming. I fully believe in Genesis 9:14, and oh my gosh, let me pull it up for you guys, because you know, yep, we're getting into Bible stuff here. So whenever I form the clouds over the earth, a rainbow appears in the clouds. That's Genesis 9:14. And that is something I hold on so hard. And then my other one is in 1 Samuel. Let me get to it. Nope, it's not in the new. It's in the old. I go through. There we go. All right. 1 Samuel 1:27. That is the other one that I fall on. What am I doing? Come on. Some of my pages get stuck together, so this is what happens. But it is okay, and it's probably right here on this next page. Yep, there it is, right there in the next page. Good job. All right, 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 27. And it's, for this child I have prayed. That is really, that's really what it is. It's, for this child I have prayed. And the Lord gave, so it's, I prayed for this child, and since the Lord gave me what I asked him for. So when I pray to God and I ask him to bless us and to bless my womb, to bless my body, to have the healthy pregnancy and to have that embryo stick and all of those things, that's what's going to happen. Now, not everyone, is into, Christianity or whatever it is that your beliefs are. I truly believe that whatever it is you believe in, it's so important to hold on to that belief and trust that is going to happen. Speak it out. Speak it into existence. It's going to be beautiful. So, thank you guys for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and we will definitely be seeing each other real soon on the next episode. Bye.